on. And if the controller budget is here, agrees that something is going on, we keep it in view. We allow the exercise to go on.
Chair.
Mr. Chair, we are referring to the Muranga or CUB representative, Chair.
No. The controller budget sits here, and that gentleman is as good as Nyakango. Can we first of all look at the recommendations we made? Because we made certain recommendations on this. Today you are supposed to tell us how you're implementing those recommendations. So Clerk, do you have the recommendations we made on this matter?
Yes, Chair, we do have the recommendations made.
Okay, just read out our recommendations.
The first one, trade payables due for more than 365 days be considered indicative of poor financial management, and the county executive must provide an actionable payment plan to the control of budget within 90 days of the adoption of this report. 2, all county governments must prioritize the payment of verified pending bills owed to staff, statutory deductions, including KRA, NSSF, NITA, and pension funds within 90 days of the payables becoming due, as this constitute a fast charge. 3, ESCC to investigate pending bills, particularly those owed to staff and statutory bodies, to establish whether funds due were retrieved from the country revenue fund, and if so, how they were utilized, with a view to recommending prosecution of liable persons. 4, the COB is directed to consider the county's efforts to clear inherited pending bill as a key factor when approving exchequer releases, and should not approve releases for subsequent quarters where an approved payment plan is not being adhered to. 5, all county governments must verify pending bills amounting to less than 1 billion by end of this financial year and above 1 billion by the end of the financial year 26-27. The committee further recommends as follows. 1, pursuant to the to which the budget shall not approve supplementary budgets. The Office of the COB and the Senate will monitor compliance and apply sanctions if payment plans are not honored.
So, Governor, were you served with those recommendations? Because those were the recommendations of the state, which today we are seeking an update on status of implementation. I think that one line that you have done there can address 7. Were they 7? Huh? I don't think that one liner can address the 9 recommendations that we made. Were you aware of the detailed recommendations made by the Senate?
Yes, Chair, and we are retrieving evidence to show what we did to comply to that. And in 1 minute, I will be able to show where we have actually complied to those recommendations.
You see, we needed that to be captured in your written responses, because any other submission would lead to a lot of speculation. This is about numbers. We have been very clear on our recommendation on how to deal with debt aged 365 days and above, different categories of debt. Whereas you are under oath and you can make your oral submissions, but I thought mathematical issues are best reduced to writing.
Chair, that is true. We want to apologize. We have detailed evidence, which is not in this record, that shows what we have done to those recommendations. But we have it here now.
Maybe, members, since there are 2 issues in this report, but or maybe let me get the advice from Senator Morgan. Let me get Senator Morgan. It's
just I wanted to maybe cross-check. Now that the auditor may not have had sight of what Governor asked, how do we proceed? Governor, had you shared that in what you want to cover us with the Auditor General?
No, not Chair. But,
Because they
but we
addressed
have
that
it.
issue, I think, if I look at page 38,